vibes?
I think it's decent. Again, winning changes everything. So
So I've heard.
yeah, so we know that. So, but no, we try to stay positive. But again, we need to win. So that's the only thing that's gonna make us feel better.
I asked Fred this last night. How do you balance taking what's going on and your struggles seriously with not trying to get negative about it?
I mean, you just do. You just find things to correct. Like I don't think it's like what are we gonna do? Like we're not changing like the outcome of what happened. Like the only way we change the outcome of what happened is by correcting the things that we felt like we didn't do well. I think that's the only way you do it.
In terms of correcting those things, when you look back at last night and watching the film today, what stands out more? Is it the defense or is it kind of the shooting and some of the things that are happening offensively?
I think again we had times where we played great defense, and they got second opportunities, and it's hard when you play hard and you fight hard, and then they shoot and they get a rebound and then they make it three. Like those things like that sometimes, as small as those things, and then just little things that we know like that we have to do better and that we don't do sometimes and we get punished for like by the other team. So I think those are the things that you really look at.
Nick was talking about the offense the other day, and he sort of broke it down into three components, where it's three-point shooting, scoring off of offensive rebounds, and then scoring off of your defense. When you guys aren't shooting the ball well, how small is the margin for error, and how much pressure does it put on you guys to do those other things really, really well?
Yeah, no, we got to do them. I think, like you said, I mean, we have to do them all the time anyway, regardless, but especially if we're not scoring at the clip that we feel like we should, like it's even more. So yeah, I think you answered your question.
Pascal, you talked about other teams punishing you when you make mistakes. Do you punish other teams well enough when they make mistakes?
Well, I guess we haven't done that enough because we're not winning. So yeah, we gotta.
Why do you think that might be? Is there a logical reason?
Nah, I don't know. Again, I'm not really too good at analyzing everything. Like, yeah. So I think that again, we got to try to find a way to correct the things that we do, and then try to take advantage of the opportunities that we get on offense. And again, sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, we gotta figure it out and find a way to get that juice back, get that energy, get that swag, and win some games. More importantly, which once you start winning a couple of games, and then things look a little different, and people feel a little different. So yeah.
Pascal, win or lose, you guys watch film after every game.
Yeah.
How is it different right now? How is film different right now? Like, is it a little longer? Or guys...
No, I think again, like the coaches, we always look at things to get better at, and the things that they felt, or the team, like the coaching staff felt that we didn't do well. Those were the things that we always watch, and then some of the things that we did well, that we can continue to like put an emphasis on. So I think it's the same, but obviously I think the message now is just about like continue to do the little things, continue to stay together, and find a way to win. Because at the end of the day, like that's what it comes down to. Like, to be honest, we're gonna make mistakes, we're gonna whatever, but we just gotta do enough of the little things that we can get a win. Like that's the focus.
What are some of the little things you can do when you do turn it over, when you guys are in transition, be a little more efficient scoring in transition?
Yeah, just like again, running to the lanes, hitting the open guys, having the confidence, stepping out, knocking those shots, and yeah, I think that's mostly what it is. Like, and just everyone playing for one purpose, like which is winning. Like that's the only thing we got to kind of like focus on.
Last night, you guys only took 21 threes, and
That's low?
21 for a game, and
It's
today
low?
is pretty low.
Oh, okay.
Season long.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it's important to take the shots when they're there, regardless of the
Yeah.
Did it feel like you were passing? Not you specifically.
Right.
But the team was passing up some shots, or did it not feel like that in real
I
time?
don't know. Maybe we gotta take more of the open shots. Maybe we gotta have better spacing. Like maybe not try to creep in there a little bit like more than just stay out and continue to take those shots. But yeah, I didn't really realize that until you just said that. So
I didn't realize it until I looked at the back.
yeah. So I didn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
You talked a few years ago about how you had to refine your joy when you were going through your issues. off the court. Is that which comes first, winning or like playing with that swagger and joy? Can you play with those things even when you're not winning, or is it?
No, obviously, yeah, winning is like the cure of everything. Like, I always say, like, yeah, people can like hate you or whatever, or like, but it's like winning just makes everybody smile and everybody be happy. So that's natural, and it's the easiest thing to do. I think the harder thing is trying to have a positive outlook on things when they're not going right. Because again, there's nothing you can do to change them.
So how do you do that?
Be yourself. Like I always try to be myself, and again, being real with myself. It's not being like not being real or like, oh, I don't care, or like I'm not trying to win or I'm not trying to get better. It's just that I understand that like whatever happened. What can I do now to change it? I have to go back. I have to work. I have to watch film. I have to see what I need to do better, and then do them. Me being mad and sad and depressed is not gonna help change what happened. Like, what's gonna help me change what happened is me going back and watching what I didn't do right and doing right the next time, and put that foot forward every single time. And I think for me that's what I try to do.
Have you always had that mindset?
No, it's hard. It is hard. It's not easy. Like,
When you were younger, did you
No, I mean, I think it was hard. Like, I think I've always been like a person that's hard on myself because I put a lot of work in. Like, and when I'm not doing things the way that I feel like I should be doing, or the way that our team should be doing, yeah, it hurts. It's always been like that since I was a little kid. I hated losing. I hated when things weren't going my way. I hated everything, you know. So I think as you grow and you go through experiences, you understand that however you act, it's not going to change the outcome of what already happened. Like, I think for me, that's the main thing. Like, me being here and being sad and having a mood, it's not going to change the fact that yesterday we lost. Like, we lost. It's over. There's nothing I can do about that. But the thing, what I can do is go back and come in here, be the first thing in the morning, work, watch film, and go out there tomorrow and do it better, or at least try to do it better. And that's how we're going to change our outcome and be positive and everyone staying together. It doesn't help us to be out there and be like, oh, because we can't change it. We can't change what happened. I mean, it's always been like, because at the end of the day, it's just watching the real game film, like whatever happened in the film, sitting out with the coaches. The coaching side does a good job of putting the clips out of things that we didn't do well. They felt like it's the emphasis of like one of the reasons why we lost, and we try to correct them.
Be at a time when you guys are a little susceptible to issues within the room, but from what everybody's saying, everybody's staying pretty positive. How have you been able to maintain that?
I mean, we're in some close games. I think that's the biggest thing, and we're getting leads, 10, 15 points. So we just got to keep our foot down, on the gas. But we're in a lot of these games at the end, and it's just one or two things that'll kill us. And but when you think about it and you start looking at the game tape, you start looking at the film, it's one part of the game that kind of messes up the whole cohesiveness or the flow that we have, and we have to continue to keep that flow throughout the course of the game. So for us, it's just continue to stay the course, continue to make sure we do the things that's gotten us to a certain point in the game. When we're up 10 or 15 points, and just continue to just fight, continue to play defense the way we need to play defense, and just making sure that our presence is felt on the court.
Are you finding yourself having to speak more these days because of the situation that the team's in?
I mean, like I've always said, guys are always speaking. Pascal, Freddie, me. Guys that need to speak. We're speaking, and we're trying to pull something out of the group and making sure that we will our team through. But we're just having a tough stretch right now, and we just got to figure out. We got to figure it out. Figure out how to get ourselves back into winning ways and just piggyback off the first win. But one thing for sure, it's not getting any easier. The schedule only gets harder, and harder and harder, as we go. It's a potential chance that, we could not win a game, till the beginning of the new year, if we don't come out and play the way we need to play. So biggest thing is just making sure that we keep being resilient, fight through adversity, but do it together. That's the only thing that's going to get us through these tough stretches is fighting and battling together and making sure that we're all there for one another and we're willing each other through, through the good and the bad.
On paper, this team is full of pretty good individual defenders as well as team defenders.
We have a talented group.
And yet consistency with just defending the ball basically has been an issue.
Yep.
Can you put a finger on why that is? Other than this league's really talented?
This league is very talented. I think the one of the things is that we have to, one, defend the ball better, but also defend as a group better. Sometimes defending the ball, in this league, a lot of guys, we're not all going to be able to stay in front of the ball. So we have to defend as a group. So getting in our gaps, making sure that we have our 6,100 help, making sure that we're coming with base goals and doing the things that we need to do. Everything is defended as a group, as a unit, in tandem. A push and pull mechanism where we're on the string. So if we figure out how to get on that string and get all on one accord, then we're going to be a pretty damn good group. I think the biggest thing is just us going out there and just making sure we get on that one accord.
You guys watch film. I'm just curious with this Noah season, pretty game ahead. Helped you? Have you noticed?
I've been using Noah for the longest, and I actually invested into a company that actually uses the Noah technology, so I'm pretty familiar with it. It does help from a standpoint of learning what your arc is on your shot, where are you hitting the rim most of the time, the depth on your shot for it to go in and stuff like that, and it tells you what the perfect shot is for you, and it gives you real-time data and real-time results. So it's definitely good for us, as a team, good for us from an analytical standpoint, because we're continuously shooting and we're continuously seeing where, how we need to shoot and what we need to do in order to improve our shooting and get better. But at the end of the day, it's all basketball. Like, you just go out there and you play, and you try to win at all costs.
Pascal talked about how his mindset when things aren't going well is just get in the gym and try and fix the mistakes. Mm-hmm. How do you cope, or how do you figure out how to get out of a funk as a team?
Game tape, just continuously going through it, but continuously staying positive as well. Positivity is always one of the biggest things. I play with Victor Oladipo. He's one of the most positive guys that I've ever been around, and his positivity made us into a better team. We wasn't the best team, but we were a very resilient team because of the positivity that he brought each and every day. And those are the things that we need to continuously do. Continuously have the positivity. Continuously believe that we can win each and every game, and when we step out on the court, believe that we're the best team.
Can you play with that joy and swagger and positivity when you're losing, or is it like winning fixes that? And once you start winning, all those good
it's
things
hard. It's hard to play with that when you're losing. But at the end of the day, once you get that first win, hopefully it becomes contagious, and we continuously get wins, and it's a repetitious nature, and it's just repetitive over and over. We win. We come out at the end and we prevail. So, for us, it's just about getting that first win. Once we get that first win and get off the skid, then I think we'll be fine.
When you guys are watching the film, are you seeing the same? Like, is it the same issues, or are they flipping from game to game?
I think most of it is the same issues, from a defensive standpoint. Yep. But for the most part, like, we just gotta put our foot down and just make sure that we finish in games. Like, I think we were up in the third, like 15 points or something like that, and they came back, with a mirage of threes, and then it was just hard. Once you get out of that flow, it's just hard to get that tempo and that pace back, because now you're on the ropes. And that's the worst feeling in the world, is to be on the ropes. You want to be in control at all times, positioned in the middle of the ring and having the other person on the ropes. So if we can get that positioning in the middle of the ring, where we're putting guys on the ropes or putting teams on the ropes, then it will be great.
Just the weird numbers last night. I think they had 31 points on 16 attempts, with 16 points on 13 attempts. So.
Well, we gave up a lot of transition threes last night. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think it might have been 9 of them, right? So I would imagine that plays directly to that number.
And you guys didn't have 9 in your own transition.
We did not have 9 in response, but you guys asked me after the game, what do you think the problem was in transition? We just didn't make the good enough play or the right play. We didn't make the right play a few times, and we didn't make a good enough play. You know, either we didn't hit an open guy to the basket, or if we did, the pass was off target and ended the break, or whatever.
You went to a bad last night over Christian and then Kemp for a little bit late in the game. When do those two guys bring you in kind of a calming influence or not demanding shots influence?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we thought Thad was probably a better matchup for Sabonis at the start. That was the main reason there. You know, it's going to probably change tomorrow night again with Claxton here. So, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of, I'm just trying to get, something out of all of them, right? And it's mainly they're almost all playing the same role of rebounding, defending and screen setting, and then opportunity scores. You know, it seems that it's hard to play three guys at the same position, right? And there probably needs to be some longer runs by some of those guys instead of just little short. I think like Kem has pretty good minutes. He probably should run a little bit longer when he's playing well.
You guys took 21 threes last night. It's a season low. On a night like that where shots aren't going in and you guys are doing a good job of getting in the paint, getting to the line, are you okay with that number, or do you need to see it creep up?
Well, I don't think we want to get that far out of whack with the attempts versus another team. I just think that in this modern game, you're just not, you're not gonna be able to keep up on the scoreboard, right? So it's a little bit like, we used to talk about this all the time in FIBA or coaching when I was coaching in Europe, is that, you had to somewhere along the line be somewhere near or on par in the 3-point score, right? It's such an impactful thing that it can wipe out a lot of all the other good things you're doing. And we did do it, like you said, we got to the free throw line a lot, got in the paint a lot, had a really high points per possession when we did get to the paint. Didn't think we still finished near good enough. I thought we left a lot on the table with inside 6 feet for sure, a couple within 3 feet, but within 6 feet we left a lot on the table last night.
Defending the ball has been, if not always present, a recurring theme maybe throughout the year. Why isn't this team more consistent at just stopping the ball?
Well, first of all, I agree with you. We haven't guarded the ball nearly well enough. And I probably, if I had to try to pick one thing out of it, I just would say it's physicality. We're just not getting anywhere near into the ball enough at the start of drives. There's just too much freedom there. I mean, you're trying to, there is a lot of athleticism that we're trying to compensate for, quickness and those kind of things. So the way to do that is to be a little bit more physical, and we're just not doing it well enough right now.
I don't know how to phrase this, is it what needs to happen for that message to get through and to be applied?
We need to be more physical. Yeah, I mean we got to get it. We got to get into the ball, and we gotta. That's it. You can't defeat ball screens unless you're into the ball, unless you want to switch everything or unless you want to play coverage on everything. But one of our big themes is that we get into the ball and defeat the screen on our own without having to run a scheme.
Yeah.
And we have percentages that we try to do that. Like what percent of ball screens can we defeat by the man just guarding his man? And that number's low.
Is that like staying into the ball, climbing over the screen?
Knifing over, not getting hit. Yeah.
When you look at Claxton and Koloko, I mean, that looks like a matchup that probably should be somewhat even, but Koloko hasn't really fared that well in this matchup over the few games. It doesn't feel like.
Well, it might be in a few years.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, the guy's been in the league. The guy's been in the league a long time, right?
There's a guy that he can match up with.
Physically, they look similar. Claxton's probably got a little bit more bounce and speed.
Yeah.
right? But yeah, he's got to try to win that matchup. He's got to play it better than it's getting played. That's for sure. Because Claxton's really hurt us. And it's not just him though, right? That's his matchup, but we've got to play. We've got to be, again, let's go back to the physicality on we got to be more physical at those kind of positions as well.
He pressures himself getting some work in. Is he closer or any kind of?
Probably each day getting a little closer, right? But he's not. He's not near contact or anything yet, right? I think, where are we? What's today, Doug? 14, 15?
15.
Yeah, I think you're looking at the new year, for sure. If he's not, I wouldn't even put him in the 60 to 70% range. He's not near contact. It's good that he's out there. He's moving. He's trying to do some stuff. It's getting a little better every day. He is engaged with a little bit. He's trying to do a few drills here and there when we're teaching and things like that. So he's trying to stay connected. But I'd say we got a good 2 weeks yet.
Pascal talked about guys refining their swagger, and Thad said staying positive are like the keys to getting back on track. How do you do those things when you're losing, or is it just win one game and then everything's, you start rolling after you win? But can you do those things while you're losing?
What?
Stay
positive?
and
Of course.
play with swagger?
Well, I think that part, we've certainly looked like we've lost some confidence in shooting, taking shots, et cetera, and it's impacting a lot of what we're doing. My message is we can't let it impact, our identity and doing the things that our philosophy demands. And we are letting that we aren't guarding the ball well enough. We're not blocking out well enough. We're not executing schemes well enough. And why? What's the reason? Well, you asked me. Well, we're not physical. But there's a lot of things, and part of it is the offensive, probably just the ball going in general, right, is affecting a lot. But we got to get that out of the front of our mind and rearrange that thing a little bit. And just, I think collectively everybody has to do the philosophical, foundational things better, longer. We can't, like last night we got that game, we're playing really well, and then we just make a couple really silly decisions on offense, and all of a sudden that game switches, right? And they were pretty easy plays to make. And we don't have the room for saying, oh yeah, we're up 16, man, let's just do something off the page here a little bit. Can't do it.